645, 1320, WILS on this Thursday. It's getting warmer, and it's time to get out there and get in shape. Someone who doesn't wait for the spring to do that is my next guest, Warren Honeycutt, diet and exercise expert, author of the book Get Lean for Life. Warren, great to have you here.
Great to be with you, Mike.
Yeah.
Great to be with you.
Where do you live, Warren?
Live in Memphis.
Okay, so it's...
Memphis, actually, office sits just right at the airport in Memphis, Tennessee.
So it's never really that cold out there, huh?
Oh, it's not cold. Now, it's hot and humid. But
so really what keeps you inside is the heat, not the cold?
Yes, sir. Absolutely is.
So in the summertime, you just exercise indoors, or what do you do?
Well, I generally do a lot of what I do, Mike, in the early morning. And lows will get down, typically in the summer, 70, 75. And at least it's not so horribly hot that you can't get out. And I always encourage people to either do anything outside in the early morning or in the evening hours, especially when it comes to exertion.
And how do you start the day then with your exercise? What's the first thing you do?
Well, first thing I would do is some road work in the park. And that, includes some power walking and a HIIT, sprint and rest. Sprint and rest.
Sprint and rest. No jogging, just the sprint and rest thing.
No, sir, I don't do jogging, and I really discourage people from doing it because the body is not made the way it is set up, engineered to take a pound on a heel and a foot of, let's say, in my case, 220 pounds.
Ooh, so and you're in your 60s. Have you ever had a knee or ankle or any issues like that?
No. Well, let me go back and be very perfectly honest and transparent. Mike, in my early years, like in my 20s, I was into full contact karate and got some ligaments ripped out of a knee during a sparring session one time with the middleweight champion of the world, but that didn't have anything to do with exercise. Other than it goes along with the sport. and
even in your 60s, no aches and pains when you're exercising?
No, I don't, Mike, and that comes from approaching it scientifically and understanding the physiology of the body and what it's capable of. And I always had enough common sense to not, try to get under a bar, and I certainly don't want to offend any of my powerlifting friends, but get under a bar that weighs 500 pounds and squat down with it and come back up. So,
any reason to exercise right away in the morning versus later on?
Yeah, if in fact, especially people are wanting to drop some pounds, if you do the movements, the activity in the morning before breakfast, you will burn twice the amount of fat as if you did the exact same amount of activity right after breakfast.
Really? Because your system's already revved up somehow?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, if you think about it, breakfast is break fast. That's where the word came from. And so you fasted from the time you went to bed, at least, until hopefully you didn't get up and do a midnight fridge raid and get the pecan pie or an ice cream.
Yeah, and that's it. So right away, first thing in the morning, you're running around. Is that it for the day, or is there more exercise after that?
No, that is when I do my aerobic, and then in the evenings, Mike, and I always enjoy actually training in the evenings more. I'm not typically a morning person, but I will do my resistance training in the evenings.
Do you go to a gym or?
Well, I go to a gym, and then I have a gym because it's my life in my house. One floor of my house is a gym. So
is it more motivational to get out to a public gym?
It is. Yeah, that's the reason I'm a member of a gym, because it is just the camaraderie and people around doing the same thing, might not have the exact same goals, but at least they have the motivation to be there, and that adds to the motivation for anybody. We're social beings.
Yeah, but
we like to be around. What
about the intimidation? If you're not in shape, is it not intimidating to walk into a gym where people have been working out for years?
Yes, and that is one of the biggest issues, and I've been around the gym business for 40 years now, Mike, and I opened my first one when I was 20. But the biggest deterrent, for all the New Year's resolution people, that they go in and then they look around and see people that are in shape and they get intimidated. And the biggest reason I have found is they do not understand how to use the equipment, how to use the barbells, the dumbbells, the pulleys, the deck machine, all the machines.
Yeah.
It's very intimidating, and And that is actually I have done several courses on that.
So you're saying what? Should you get a personal trainer if you're going to do that kind of thing? Or?
If you can afford a personal trainer, that's great, especially a good one. And they will help you in understanding what needs to be done and why. And if they can't explain, Mike, to you why you're doing what they're suggesting, then you know you don't have a personal trainer that you want to stay with.
Did you say you owned gyms in the past, or?
I have. I do not now. What I do is I do a lot of speaking and writing and teaching and seminars is what I really do now. I do not own any gyms right now.
Is that a profitable business to own gyms, or?
It's more of a passion. Very few people actually that I ever saw, including myself, made a lot of money with the gym business.
Because they're paying their monthly fee and then that's it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, typically, and this is a real number from the Gym Association of America, but typically a gym will have about 35 to 40 times the amount of people that actually use it. But they make a payment.
They just pay. They just
Yes,
maybe one day go. One last thing. Are you into biking, Warren?
No, I don't do biking, Mike. It is a great activity, but I don't do it because there's so many other things I enjoy more.
Really? Okay.
But if anybody enjoys biking, that's a terrific way to help with your heart and lungs, muscle tone, especially in the legs.
Not very. It seems like it's a lot less impactful on the knees and the hips and so on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very close to an elliptical machine, and if people understand what that is, you can think about riding a bike and doing an elliptical machine, and the movement's very close. And yeah, it's not nearly the strain as jogging. And again, I don't recommend jogging, but
no jogging. Okay, good.
No,
because I don't plan to jog at all, Warren. That's for sure. Hey, it's springtime. Time to get in shape. Warren Honeycutt. Find him at getlean.guru and his book Get Lean for Life. Warren, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Always a pleasure.
Yep.